What's up, guys? My name's Chris, and I'm making a YouTube video about some of the stuff that I resell on eBay. I do it part-time, usually just on the weekends, do my listing and my sourcing on the weekends. I have a full-time job and a 9-year-old son, so I'm pretty busy. But since the pandemic's been going on, I've been working at home, so I have a lot more spare time. So I've been finding some pretty good stuff lately. This video in particular is focused on antique books only because that's what I found to resell last week. I don't really focus on antique books, but after this week's experience, I think I'll be looking at them a little more. Good places to find those would be like estate sales and yard sales. And it's good to figure out how to find out if you got a first edition or not, and having a little bit of literary knowledge helps too, knowing what authors are good and what people are looking for. I sell a lot of different stuff on eBay. Mostly clothes and shoes are my bread and butter. Let's see, I do antiques and porcelain, board games. I like to get into a lot of old board games. Pretty much anything I can make a profit off of. Okay, so this is my first video. I'm just learning how to do it. I'm just messing around, just kind of doing it for fun. I don't expect a lot of people to watch it, but this is what I bought and sold this week. And next week it'll be a whole different thing, and if this video goes well, maybe I'll make a video about that. We'll see. So here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, guys, here we go with this week's haul from my local online auction. I got some pretty good stuff this week, and I want to share it with you, and we'll also see if it sells, if we made some money off of it. First item up is this set of books, antique books, which is what this auction focused on, or what I focused on in the auction. People were bidding on other stuff and spending the money on that. I thought the books that were being presented were really good, and that's what I focused on and put my money into. These right here, they have a long title. The title for this book is The Ancient History of the Egyptians, Carthaginians, Assyrians, Babylonians, Medes and Persians, Grecians, and Macedonians, including a history of the arts and sciences of the ancients in 2 volumes, volume 1 and 2 by Charles Rollin. They were published in 1847. I've seen another set of these going for about $75 on eBay. They were asking for, but they had a lot more damage to these. These aren't in great condition, but I think I may put them up in auction for about $50 and see if I can get some bites on that. And for this set of 2 books, I paid $11.55. Next up is one of my favorite books from this weekend. This book is an original French play from 1765, first edition. Has some wear on the spine. The name of the play is going to be horribly pronounced by me, but it is Les Amants Malheureux, 1765. I paid $25.55 for this, and I've done a little research on it, and this is a rare book that when sold sells for a couple $100. And in this condition, I think I can get at least $100 for it, and that's probably what I'll start the auction off at.
Aww.
Okay, this next lot of books, it was a total of 6 books. 2 of the books were from the 1950s, 1960s, and were not very valuable, so I just threw those on my bookcase and didn't really worry about those. It was these 4 books that I was interested in, and for this lot, or we'll say 4 books, I paid $14.76 for these. This lot is this little small book. It's from the Family Library number 127, and I tried to do some research on it, and I don't know anything about that, but I have found this book in this year, and the year of this book is 1840, and it's titled The Life of Commodore Perry. Commodore Oliver Perry, and it's a 2-volume book, and this is only volume 2, so I only have one of them. But they are very rare, and they do seem to sell pretty well. So this is one that I think I can get maybe 40 bucks for, 50 bucks for. A lot of these books I'm going to put up for auction. You can see a lot of spotting here from age. And we'll see how they do, and if they don't sell, I'll put them as buy it now with the best offer. And this is just one of the books from that lot. Another book from that lot. It's called The Myths of Greece and Rome, which is a really good subject matter. It's a book from 1893, first edition. It's actually a first edition, first printing. And this book came in that lot. And doesn't look beautiful on the cover or anything, but it is actually, I've researched it, and it's a pretty sought after book. It should do well. I plan on putting it up for about 20 bucks starting auction bid. We'll see how that does. It's from 1890 called Modern Ghosts. Another one with good subject matter. And this book right here is listed on eBay. Hasn't sold yet, but a few people have it listed for I think $75, maybe $60. And I plan on putting this up just for maybe $20 starting bid, and we'll do a 7-day auction on it, and we'll see if that sells.
Aww.
And the last book in that lot of 4, actually 6, but really 4 that I'm selling, is this Don Quixote book by Cervantes, 1899. And I've tried to research this book, but I cannot find anything with this cover, and it's hard to find actually Don Quixotes from that year, so don't really know a lot about it. I'll show you the title page. And since I don't know anything about it, of course it'd be a great item to auction off, and I might start it off at 40 or 50 bucks. I know a lot of people collect Don Quixote. It's not in perfect condition, but it's not in horrible condition either. So we'll see how that does. Another really neat lot that I got this weekend and paid $20.99 for was this lot of 5 antique books. And you'll see from the original picture of the auction, which I'll put up here, that this book was kind of the focus of it, called Roses and Lilies by Longfellow. It's 1898 book, poetry book, and it's in leather. And it's a really nice book, but they don't sell for much. They sell for 10, 15 bucks, and this one's not in great condition. But it was the other books in the lot that I was more interested in. The second book in that lot is called The Gift, A Christmas and New Year's Present for 1842, copyright of 1841. And in the auction it was listed as by Carey and Hart, which is the publishers, but the big selling point of this book is that it features Edgar Allan Poe and is a first edition. It's a very rare and sought after book. It's in a pretty bad shape, no back to it. The cover is disconnected. In good condition, this book could sell for over 500 bucks. But in this condition, I still think I can get $100 for it. Again, I paid $20.99 for this whole lot of 5, and there's a lot of Edgar Allan Poe collectors out there, so pretty excited about this one. It's really neat because it has a lot of pictures that they protected by building tissue into the book. So all of, they call them plates. Maybe that's something different than a picture that I don't know about, but they're all really nice and in good condition. So I'm going to put this one up for auction, probably for $100. Also, all the ones I found in my research this year had red covers, and this one has a dark blue cover, so I don't know what that's about. I'm sure some book experts out there will. Couple more books in that lot. Thought Throbs, first edition, and Through the Year with American Poets, which has some poetry in it. Both of these books usually do sell for about 20 to 25 bucks. They'll probably take a while to sell because books are long tail items, but I'm sure they'll do just fine. I'm actually going to start them off on auctions, and we'll see if we can get more than one person bidding on them. The last book in that lot is called The Dying Testimonies of the Saved and Unsaved, which is a very interesting subject matter. It's from 1898. Make sure that's right. 1898, and it's stories gathered by a reverend of things that people were saying in the 19th century on their deathbeds. And I've done some research on it, and I'm not even going to put this up for auction. I'm just going to sell it for 40 bucks with free shipping, best offer, and it seems to be at about a good price for this. Another very interesting lot that I was excited to get was this lot of 14 of original Prescott's works from 1856. And these books, 14 lots, actually saved up my money. It was one of the last items in the auction, and I was ready to spend a little bit on them because I really wanted them, but I ended up getting them for $21.55, which is a great deal for 14 books from 1856. They come in 5 different sets, 4 sets of 3 and 1 set of 2, and I plan on separating them up into sections. We got Philip II in 3 volumes, The Conquest of Peru in 2 volumes. This is the one that comes in 2 books. The Reign of Ferdinand and Isabella in 3 volumes. And you can see where they have some damage to the spines. Mostly the first volumes of each one do because they're the most handled. The other ones are in pretty good shape. This one is The Reign of Charles V. And again, the other ones are in better condition. This one has some noticeable wear to the spine. There's one on one of these sets that actually has the cover disconnected. But with the sets together and the age, I think that's normal and that they'll do just fine at auction. This one is The Conquest of Mexico in 3 volumes. And I think this is the most sought after set of the bunch. And there was 14 books total. And I paid $21.55, and I'm going to auction all 5 sets off for a $100 starting bid. And if they don't sell, I'll put them as buy it now, best offer, $100, maybe more. And if they don't sell, that's fine too, because I think they're really cool, and I wouldn't mind keeping them. The Prescott's Works books didn't get a lot of views or attention, and no watchers or anything, but another really cool book that I picked up at this auction is huge, and it's where we at here? It's an 1884 Dewey and Rhymes Catholic Family Holy Bible. This is the one with the large metal clasps. It's got the nice indented cover and back to it. Now this one is not in very good condition. The cover and spine is actually disconnected from the book, but I did only pay $14 for it, and it is a sought after Bible that a lot of people are looking for. There's one on there on eBay now for sale for over $900, so at $14 I'll probably start the auction off at $50 and see where it goes from there. I think it'll bring a lot of eyes to my other auctions. A lot of book collectors will come just to see this because it's one that people are looking for. Since this video is focusing on a lot of rare books, I thought I'd throw this one in from last week's auction. I actually picked this up for $2 because nobody else bid on it, and I did a little research and figured it'd be something that would sell for about 20 bucks. But when I got it home and looked it up, did a little more research on it, I found out that it was the Diamond Jubilee edition, which is a limited edition that's really hard to find. One recently sold for over $180 on eBay. Again, I paid $2 for this, and I'm putting it up for $125. I already listed it for $125 last week, and it already has 4 watchers. So for $2, this was a really good find. And it's a rare book. Very interesting subject matter: The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. Another item I picked up from this auction was only $3.07. It's a Lawrence Welk Show Then and Now program, which doesn't seem like much, but this one has 3 or 4 autographs in there from some of the performers, including Joanne Castle, who's a well-known performer. And at auction, I think it should do just fine. Started off at 15 or 20 bucks. I paid $3 for it. It should be an easy profit. Item I picked up this week for $7.55 was a lot of about 14 or 15 antique German writings from the 1850s, 1860s, and they're well preserved. And since I don't speak German, I don't know a lot about them, but I can tell that one's a journal, and there's some with some medical information according to the auction in there. I'm going to keep these all together and put them up for auction, starting at about probably $20. I paid $7.55 for them. I think somebody's probably going to want those. And the last item I'm going to show today is a weird item that I noticed wasn't selling for much, so I just looked it up. Something I don't know anything about. It's actually called an antique homespun jacquard coverlet. And you know, I don't even know what 50% of those words mean, but I did some research on it, and I know they sell for a lot. And this one went for $21.55. I'm probably going to start the auction off around $50, and I expect it to go for probably more than that. It should get a lot of interest. According to my research, a lot of people are looking for these. It's from the mid-1800s. I think it's made out of wool. It's got a lot of wear to it, but that's natural for a cover that old.